Good morning, children. Today we are going to continue with next simple tissue, that is adipose tissue. What is called adipose tissue is very similar to very similar to areolar tissue. Very similar to areolar tissue in structure. Areolar tissue in structure and function. Okay, children, and located beneath the skin. Located beneath the skin. Okay, children. Next one, adipocytes commonly called what are called? Adipocytes commonly called adipose adipose or fat cells. Adipose or fat cells. Predominant and predominant and okay, children, account for 90% of the tissue mass. Okay, children, the cells of this tissue store fats and the excess, what I am saying, excess nutrients which are not utilized immediately, okay, are converted okay, to fats and are stored in the tissues Okay, children. Next, one more point about this adipose tissue we are going to discuss. Adipose tissue is richly vascularized. Okay, this point you should have to remember. Richly vascularized, indicating its high metabolic activity. Its high metabolic activity while fasting. Okay, children, while fasting, these cells maintain what these cells maintain life by producing and supplying energy as fuel. Adipose tissue are also found. Adipose tissue are also found. Adipose tissues are also found in subcutaneous. What is called? Subcutaneous. Okay, children. Subcutaneous tissues. Next, surrounding the kidneys and eyeball, heart, etc. Okay, children, kidneys, eyeball and heart, etc. Adipose tissue is called white fat or white adipose tissue. White adipose tissue. White fat or white adipose tissue. Okay, children. The adipose tissue which contain abundant mitochondria. Adipose tissue which adipose tissue which contains, okay, which contains abundant, okay children, very important, adipose tissue which contains abundant mitochondria. Abundant mitochondria, okay. Abundant mitochondria is called, what you called is called brown fat or what you called brown adipose tissue. Brown adipose tissue. Brown fat or brown adipose tissue. Next, another important point we are going to discuss. What we called white fat stores. White fats stores. Okay, children. White fat stores nutrients. Whereas brown fat, okay, is used. Brown fat is used to heat the bloodstream. This is also important point. To warm the body. Brown fat produces, okay children, whereas brown fat used to heat, okay, and brown fat produce heat by, okay children, brown fat produce heat by non-shivering thermogenesis. And brown fats, okay children, brown fat produces heat by, okay, brown fat produces heat, okay, by non-shivering thermogenesis. In neonates. What you call neonates. Okay children, this is very important. Okay, we are going to discuss about which one? The adipose connecting tissue. Adipose connecting tissue means fat stored tissue. Similarly, this is adipose tissue is similar to which one it seems? Areolar tissue. First point is the adipose tissue is similar to areolar tissue in structure and function. Finish. First point. This adipose tissue located beneath the skin. Where it is present, it seems beneath the skin the adipose tissue is present. The adipocytes commonly called adipose or fat cells. So the adipocytes, where the cells, adipose tissue have cells or not, those cells are called adipocytes, commonly called adipose or fat cells. Next, these fat cells are predominant and account for 90% of the tissue mass. So 90% of tissue mass consists of this adipocytes and adipose tissue. Storage fats. And what is the function of this? This adipocytes and the adipose tissue stores the fats, and the excess nutrients are there. Now, suppose we are eating excess nutrients which are not utilized immediately. Suppose we are eating too much food that immediately will not utilized by our digestive system. Then where it will be? Our body. Then where these all absorbed fats which are not utilized immediately are converted into, what is that? Fats, and are stored in the tissues. This is the most important point. What is that? It seems the adipose tissue store fats and the excess nutrients which are not utilized. So we took so much nutrients, suppose when they are not utilized, what they will do? Immediately they will be converted into fats and are stored in this adipose tissue. Next, this adipose tissue, vascular. So many blood vessels are there, richly vascular. Richly vascular. Vascularized means so many blood vessels are there. It indicating its high metabolic activity. Means the adipose tissue have very powerful metabolic activity. Very powerful metabolic activity. Suppose while you are fasting, these cells, suppose you are not taking the food some days onwards, then that time how you can survive, from where you will get energy? So while you are fasting, these cells maintains life by producing and supplying as energy fuel. What is that one? These cells maintain life by producing and supplying energy as which one? Fuel. Adipose tissue are also found in what is called subcutaneous tissues. So below the skin and surrounding the kidneys, very important, need bit and eyeball and heart. There are the adipose tissue called generally called white fat or white adipose tissue. Adipose tissue which contains abundant mitochondria is called. So generally less mitochondria or normal white adipose tissue is called white adipose tissue. Adipose tissue which contains abundant mitochondria is called brown fat or brown adipose tissue. What is this one? Another neat bit. Abundant, what do you call? Mitochondria is there in the sense that kind of adipose tissue is called brown fat or brown adipose tissue. White fat stores nutrients, whereas brown fats use it to heat. What is the main function of the white fats? White fat stores the nutrients, whereas brown fats use it to heat the bloodstream. Heat the bloodstream to warm the body. That is important. Next, brown fat produce heat by non-shivering. Without shivering, thermogenesis in which one? Neonates. Okay, in the neonates, without shivering only, the heat will be generated in the body. Who will generate the heat? That brown fat. Without shivering in the neonates. Okay, in the neonates. So these are the main important what we called adipose tissue characters and types. Next, one more tissue will be there. That one we are going to discuss. That tissue is called, what is the tissue? That tissue is called reticular tissue. What do you call the tissue? That is called reticular tissue. The tissue is called reticular. So reticular connecting tissue we are discussing about. Which one it seems? Reticular connective tissue. Reticular connective tissue. Okay, children, it resembles which one? It also resembles areolar connecting tissue. Okay, it resembles which one? Areolar connecting tissue. It resembles which one? Areolar connecting tissue. But the matrix is filled. The matrix is filled with fibroblasts called reticular cells. What are called? Reticular cells. This is also important point. It forms, what reticular do? It forms an what is called internal framework. It forms internal framework. Okay, stroma, like stroma, and supports the blood cells and supports the blood cells. and supports the blood cells. Okay, children, largely lymphocytes, largely lymphocytes, largely lymphocytes. Next, in the lymph nodes, largely lymphocytes in the lymph nodes. Okay, children, lymph nodes, spleen and bone marrow also. Okay, like this, the characters are there. The reticular connecting tissue. Now we will discuss that diagram of which one? Adipose. Adipocyte diagram, adipose tissue diagram we will discuss. See, very simple. The adipose tissue, very simple. Like this, adipocyte will be there, and is what you called like this. Okay, the cell will be there. So like this, what you call the cell will be present. Okay, this is called, this is completely, what is this? Fat storage. This is called fat storage, and it is called nucleus. Okay, this is called, what you call, plasma membrane. Like this, adipocytes are present. Nucleus is one corner, but completely filled with fat. That's why fat will be accumulated in our body. That is leads to, you know very well, obesity. Okay, children, that is adipose tissue, adipocyte. Come to reticular connecting tissue. Reticular connecting tissue, it resembles areolar connecting tissue. It looks like areolar and resembles areolar connecting tissue, but the matrix is filled with fibroblasts. What you call the fibroblasts are also called reticular cells, which produce the fibers. It forms an internal framework, stroma, and supports the blood cells, large lymphocytes in the lymph nodes, spleen, largely lymphocytes in the lymph nodes, spleen, and bone marrow. So in these all areas, they will support this all. Which one? The reticular connecting tissue supports the lymphocytes. These are the very important functions. So it resembles areolar connecting tissue, but the matrix is filled with which one? Fibroblast or reticular cells. It forms the internal framework, stroma, and supports the blood cells. Which blood cells? Lymphocytes is there, and B cells and T cells, like that. For these lymphocytes, this will be support. Lymph nodes, spleen, and bone marrow. So these all are very important structures. Okay, reticular connective tissue. Which one? Reticular connecting tissue will be like that. Okay, children. Next we are going to discuss about dense connective tissue. What is called? Dense connective tissue. What is this dense connecting tissue? What are the parts of the dense connecting tissue? And what is the importance of dense connecting tissue? We are going to discuss. Next one, what? Dense connecting tissue, or the dense connecting tissue is also called connecting tissue proper. Dense connecting tissue, or this also called connective tissue proper. Connective tissue proper. Dense connecting tissue are also called connecting tissue proper. Fibers, observe very carefully. Fibers and fibroblasts. Fibers and fibroblasts are compactly packed in the which one? The dense connecting tissue. Dense connective tissue, packed in the dense connective tissues. Okay, compactly, very stiffly packed. Next one, orientation of orientation of It called orientation of fibers. Orientation of fibers. Orientation of fibers shows a regular or irregular okay, orientation of fiber shows a regular or irregular pattern and is called what is called dense regular and dense irregular tissues. Dense irregular tissues. This also very important. Dense regular and dense irregular tissues. Now we are going to first one discuss about dense regular. So dense regular connecting tissue. Okay, primarily contain collagen fibers. Okay, children, this is the first point. In rows between many parallel okay, many parallel, very important, many parallel, okay, collagen fibers, many parallel bundles of tissues, okay, regular, and a few elastic fibers Okay, children, very important. So the major cell type is the major cell type is fibroblast. Okay, children, it attaches muscles and bones. Okay, muscles and bones, like that it will be there. That is muscles and bones, and withstands okay, and withstands great tensile stress. Great tensile stress when pulling force is applied, and the pulling force is applied in one direction. Okay, children, this connective tissue is present in tendons. Okay, children, that attach skeletal muscles. Attach skeletal muscles to bones and ligaments. Okay, children, and attach one bone to another. Okay, children, like this things are there. Next, dense irregular connecting tissue. What is this dense irregular connective tissue? Have bundle, okay, bundle of dense irregular connecting tissue have bundle of thick collagen fibers, thick collagen fibers and fibroblasts, thick collagen fibers and fibroblasts which are arranged irregularly, what you called irregularly, okay children, like this irregularly will be there, okay, which are arranged in the the major cell type is the major cell type is the which one? Okay, here also fibroblast. Here also which one? Fibroblast. Okay, children, fibroblast. It is able to. Okay, next. It is able to withstand tension. Able to withstand tensions. Okay, able to withstand tension exerted in many directions, okay, and provides structural strength. Which one? Structural strength also they will be provide structural strength. Some elastic fibers are also present in this tissue. Okay, it is found in the skin as the okay, as the leathery dermis, okay children, leathery dermis, and forms fibrous capsules and forms fibrous capsules of organs such as what you called kidneys, bone, okay children, and muscles, okay, and nerves and joints, okay children, like this their functions also will be there. Okay children, observe very carefully. We are going to discuss about dense means perfectly packed connecting tissue, are also called connecting tissue properly arranged cells connective tissue we are going to discuss. There will be fibers and fibroblasts are compactly packed. Which one? Fiber and fibroblasts compactly packed in the dense connecting tissue. Compactly packed. Like this. Compactly. What do you call? Packed in the dense connecting tissue. The orientation of fibers show a regular or irregular pattern. Some will be like this, some will be like this. This is a regular, this is irregular pattern. This is a regular, it is irregular pattern. Regular pattern is there in the sense those are called dense regular. The irregular pattern fibers arrangement is there in the sense that is called dense irregular tissues. First we are going to discuss about dense regular connecting tissue. Dense regular connecting tissue contains collagen fibers in rows between many parallel bundles. Where it will be present? Contain this dense regular connecting tissue contains collagen fibers in rows between many parallel bundles of tissues and a few elastic fibers like this. Okay, like regular collagen fibers will be what you called present in the tissue. Few elastic fibers also, very little elastic fibers are present. The major cell type of this dense connecting tissues is fibroblast. What is the function of dense regular connecting tissue? It has the muscles to bones, you know very well, ligaments and withstands great tensile stresses when in pulling force is applied in one direction. Very perfect strength they will give to the complete muscle or tissues. This connecting tissue present in tendons that attach the skeletal muscles to bones and ligaments. You know, ligaments connects the which one? Bone to another bone. Tendons connects the muscle to bone. In these tendons and ligaments, tendons and ligaments, tendons and ligaments, tendons and ligaments consist of dense regular connecting tissue. What is the function of tendons? Attach the skeletal muscle to bones and ligament attach the bone to another bone. So they will give tensile strength. Dense regular tissue provides the strength, tensile strength. Come to dense irregular. In the name itself, answer is there. Irregular. So bundle of thick collagen fibers and fibroblasts which are arranged irregularly. So in different directions. Major cell type is here also which one? Fibroblast. Able to withstand tension exerted in many directions. Okay, it can bear the tensions in any direction, it will come also, and provide structural strength. But the main function to this dense irregular connecting tissue provides a structural strength. Some elastic fibers are also present in that tissue, found in the skin as leathery dermis. So as the skin leathery dermis, this dense irregular connecting tissue, and forms fibrous capsules to the organs. See, organs are surrounded by coats or not? Fibrous capsules also by the dense irregular connecting tissues, such as kidneys. Okay, fibrous capsules of organs such as which one? Kidneys, bone, muscles, nerves and joints. Kidneys, bone, muscle, bone and joints. Thank you children. Next class we will meet with the another connecting tissue we will meet. Okay children.